Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie, nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Witamy wszystkich na 369 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy niedzielę, 7 czerwca 2020 rok. I tematem jest kontynuacja 330 warsztatu poszukiwaczy wiedzy i czasy przetłumaczone na dzisiaj to jest od godziny 40 minut do godziny 54 minut, od 2:14 do 3:02. Od 3:09 do 3:39 minut i od 3:54 do 4:09 minut. Potem jak zwykle rozmowy, pytania, odpowiedzi. Pewnie później będzie Przemek, to też nam coś pewnie skróci. Tak więc zapraszam do obejrzenia, wysłuchania.
Our webmaster says your Akashi heart is crushed. That's why you disappeared. So you're back on. Explain to us what you see. You read all the books. And what do you see? What do you see through Akashi and the future of mankind in what you learned today and before?
Oh, actually, for Akasha, I'm still a practitioner. So just sometimes it gives me some amazing view or some amazing information. But Um, I can see because when I first time to like join the Akash training, and I found that they are doing the same thing. It's like they have no limitation. It's like they just everybody has that opportunity to be trained and access the Akash recording. That means
Well, yeah.
to tap into the universal memory bank.
Okay. And what do you know and where do you sit? Where do you think mankind will go with this new knowledge?
Yeah, I think that is why we are here. That is the change point. Because as a Chinese knowledge seeker, he has a question here. He's asking why? Because if our soul has the full memory, why when we created our physical body and now we lose that memory?
Because you got a weak planet with its own weaknesses that created that weaknesses in the interaction with the soul of the man. It's the fault of the planet and its fields, not the soul. You can only make with what you cut out as a statue. Doesn't change the essence of what the statue is made of. If you're an amateur, you make it with a lot of faults. If you're a master, you make a statue without any faults. And that comes from the essence of the interaction of the fields of the planets and destination and the point of manifestation. If you could find anywhere in the universe that in fields and strength and in proportion, the same as the strength of the Creator, you will create a perfect entity, the same as the Creator.
Then I understand how important the universal enhancement unit is, because it can create the universal field, and then it will bring back us to be perfect, not being limited by the Earth's magnetic field again.
Exactly.
Wow, so beautiful.
This is why with the second unit of enhancement system, we can create any condition of fields, matter, and plasma in the universe, in the system. Anything else? Have we lost Wang Lin again?
Oh yeah. Can you explain like how we can communicate with the lovers or relatives who had passed over? Because some Chinese is asking this question.
Does he or she wants the lover, ex-lover, or people who died? There's a big difference to communicate with the soul of a live one.
Her lover, I think. Yeah.
The existence of the soul in both dimensions is that the line exists is that the other has to accept it. You cannot force to open. Before you were born, at the point of inception, and when he was born, does not matter what in the universe, you already have a line of connection. It's how we are positioned. We accept the positioning of our souls. So, depends what message you send, and depends if he accepts the message to return. It's not that he's not aware of it, especially if you've been a lover and you have already established, or you have established connection at a higher strength. We have that directly with our family, with our parents, with our friends or relatives who die. They leave the physical dimension, but they still exist in the dimension of the fields of the universe. So you can always communicate with, and it's the same with your lover. You have established it. And if you have managed to literally, how I'll teach you a trick. This is a very, very what I call beautiful trick. If you can give and know at the same time how to take, which means this is the strength you're aware of, and because it's you, and this is the strength you are aware of because it's him, you become the controller of the emotion. And you can establish a line. He can miss you, he wants you, you create that, he feels that. So simple. If you create a clear point, even if there's been a problem in physicality, you can establish that link through the soul. And then he assesses if he wants to keep it, or you used to be a naughty girl. She says, no way. I'm not letting you even know to establish this line. In a way, you have to be able to create your own loop. Don't forget, the strength of the gravitational is much bigger than the magnetical in the direction of the pull. So you can even understand and allow them to change the position themselves, but you cannot steal. The minute you go to that point of taking, you reduce from your own. And that's what you do not need. In any way, you cannot receive anyhow. It means you lost too much energy in trying to achieve something which was not yours. You cannot play, what do you call it, the pin pushing, what I call game. Anything else?
This seems related to Dan's question in the Q&A, so I'll put that in now. is this the same thing as the proton, which is the main energy, the neutron, the transition matter, and the electron, which is the matter?
What?
Well, you sort of have a picture of what looks like the proton and electron here. And I'm thinking, Dan's question is it the same thing as the proton? He had this question from before. Is it the same thing as the proton, neutron, and electron in terms of the transition, the matter, transition matter, and so on that you had in the diagram before?
Not really. If you put neutron as the creator, you end up with two created things of electron and proton. Neutron is the dimension of the physicality interaction in the level of matter level, where if you work, understand, work in the energy, or what we call energy as a dynamic field force, or what we call fields in motion. Magnetic fields in motion, we call the energy in comparison to the point at two given points. If we redefine the energy in that way, then we can understand the totality of the creation. Any other question?
Okay, Dan also asks, how do I distinguish between the two fields, the magnetic and gravitational, where I place the point of interaction and emotion of a certain intensity?
If you gotta find out where you push, and you gotta find out where you're getting pushed.
Well, that gets into his third question, which is, who determines the interaction between my emotions and my intentions?
You. Intention is physical. Emotion is an interaction of the fields of the physicality, solar physicality, and the solar matter. Intention is the time when you made the decision on the emotion and you act. When you speak about the intention and then you understand it, then you will find out I tell you something. I was looking at it. I want you to see something. It's touched me very deep, this, in the past 24 hours. And if you know this picture, it's to help to create peace. This is a mentality of the new generation, what we call the Keshe generation, where we have seen a new solution, where we have found a different way to approach, where it's not consist with the present world, where we need to understand how to unshackle the shackles of the emotion of the man, that the soul of the man can be freed. What I would love to do with this officer is to put him in an enhancement machine and let him go through the emotion and let him lose. I promise you one thing he will do. He will commit suicide. And with it, the structure will take his own children with him, that nobody will do the same again. When they do it to themselves, it's not a murder. But do we need to take him to that level? The whole problem with mankind is not kind at all, and it's not a man either. And what is needed is how to change 7 billion, 8 million, and continuously keep the same in the next generations, and then the animals, and then the plants, and the rest of it. What is wrong with this planet? What do you do if you are the son of the man in the skin of black? When he'll never come home, you have to be brought up orphan for the rest of the year. And what would you do if you knew your father has the blue uniform and committed such a crime? And you have to pay for it. Would we do things out of fear? Or would we do things from now on out of understanding the truth? Now you understand why I say I'm ashamed to be in the body of the man. And maybe you understand why we are changing everything so rapidly. And in so many ways, you want to travel with this man in a spaceship in the blue. Most probably he's a rapist, he's an abuser, and everything else you can imagine. Would you trust your daughter, your wife, your sister with a man like this? This, what you see here in front of you, has happened to us. But with 8 officers from Belgian police and Caroline. The same woman, that black man down there is a white woman. Where I heard the noise and the cry on the other end of the phone. They're so mad that they waited for me to leave the house to attack a woman in a Belgian police uniform. And it's the same uniform which appeared in the courts. Same man. You'll find out something very interesting with all the uniforms abuses like this. They're all part of what we call criminals. And in so many ways, like the police officers, they are in child trafficking. They murder children, so adults is no different to them. They start with young, and these things to them is nothing. And in so many ways, we can tell you a lot more. The only thing which is left in the world is not to trust the man in the uniform. Especially when he's blue, as a police officer. Is not to protect. This is exactly what everything has gone wrong in this, on this planet. The job description is exactly opposite to the action of the man who does the job. Now, do you want to bring peace on this planet? And in so many ways, there's no difference between that man in blue and the man in the pink shirt or the pink trousers. The same thuggery, the same, a different proportion. There's no difference between a king and a thug police officer. Both the same behavior, the same request. Take what is not mine. with force and killing. That's the king of Belgium. And a victim sitting in the white. No difference. The Korean disc gold goes from the king down, all the way down to their soldiers and the servicemen. How can we stop this? Why man has an emotion of power to think he can do what he likes. Any other question?
Mr. Keshe, Lillian has put a question in the Q&A that's appropriate, I think, and many people would be interested. She says, are there entities that feed on our negative energy?
Yes, our physicality. The only feeder is our physicality. And that's why you understand when I tell you, when Paul, John the Pope, died, his soul was literally nothing. Because he was aware of so much crimes by the priests around the world. Abusing children, child trafficking through church, and every other thing you can imagine.
And you take another question?
Yep.
Mark Curran has his hand up. Let's allow him to speak. And then there's Pia and Thomas after that.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. Mark Curran from Cape Town, South Africa.
Yes, Mark.
This is what you said on these dynamic systems. If you haven't got any of them, would it be possible to make a stand and put cup 1 on top above the head and cup 2 below the feet and stand in between? I know you're not going to
do anything you like.
Yeah, I'm asking this because if you haven't got the dynamic system, surely and you always saying we should try and get the fields, this will help, I'm sure, in a way, with the soul.
You see, you have to understand and create the condition of the universal motion.
Yeah, but I'm saying we haven't got the dynamic system. Surely this will also help.
You can do anything, everything helps, but it depends in what you want to achieve in where and how. Everything helps. As I said, with what we call dynamic systems, you create near virtual reality, but it has other dimensions.
Yeah.
We teach for everything. It depends on your ingenuity what to do.
And the next thing I'd like to ask, Mr. Keshe, is enhancement units. What is the perfect number to have in a center like you have in that John's doing in America? How
Who's
many
doing
units?
America?
John, isn't it? I think his name's John in America. The Keshe center.
The number of units,
Yeah.
number of units in a circle, you mean, like?
Yeah.
We have set up in a way, originally the perfect combination is 12.
Yeah, that's what I remembered, yeah. That's what
The perfect combination is 12, where John is set at 10, is 9 and 1 in the middle, all the way they set it. The perfect condition is 12.
12.
Yeah.
And can you explain why 12?
It's the way you realign the fields.
All right.
The setup in Iran will be 12, and it's a perfect combination because the way we set the systems up, the way we do a structure of it, and there is a lot in setting up 12.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we've got Pia. If you'd like to go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for what you're bringing.
The problem is that in the coming weeks, we teach as part of the teaching, as part of the process of reaching the ultimate goal, that how to understand emotions are created in a fundamental way, and how we create a bridge gap, a process to change the emotion. A lot of emotion has a psychological pattern of memory that we react according to. And if man understands this, that he can override it, can control it, can understand how it's created inside the body of the man, then in so many ways we can free the soul of the man through control of emotion. And more or less it's the only way. You can die and let the soul free, or understand the behavior and control of the emotion to create that dimension of freedom. There is a structure that if you really understand, the soul of the man is much more powerful than the soul of the physicality. And in so many ways, the physicality has created such a heavy blanket on it that it cannot escape. But to control it, to hold it, within the structure he has created, which is the cells of the brain of the man, which create the emotion, man consciously can control those to, in a way, push the barrier beyond and then take over. This is what you do as what you call like reflex. Changing to take over by emotion, from by soul, it's very easy. You can reduce the strength of your cage, which is your blood circulation, or you can diminish the strength of the emotion, which because of the strength of the soul will take over the physicality. Then emotion will take itself and the physicality will take over, but then you're already in charge. In so many ways, we can control emotion very easy, not only of ours, but the others. Just a simple word, a simple touch. It brings back a lot of peace. If you listen to the teachings a month, 2 months ago, and if you listen to the teaching the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you can see how has changed. And the deeper we go into the teaching, the whole teaching changes. Because we understand, and in so many ways, we deliver in the physicality of the man. And when the soul is at peace, it delivers in the voice of the Creator, much easier. The man has not that much in it. But it's very easy once we start teaching you how to control the soul. You'll find out that it gets to the point that the emotion itself becomes trapped and in cage of the physicality. What does this mean? You saw the officer. If he ever comes to the point to understand that he can use emotion to do whatever expansion of the soul, freedom of the soul, its own emotion through the essence of the soul of physicality will block him. And they will suffer. Physicality will suffer heavily. There is a study done by what we call psychologists of war. The soldiers who have killed, in return, even if they brag about it or being victorious about it, live a very horrible life. Extremely horrible life. And one day I would like to get these reports opened up. Psychological warfare and after killing. inside will take the energy from the soul. That's so much so that the emotion will take over and make the soul a prisoner. And then that's the time when there is no light. In so many ways, there is a video on news somewhere if you can find it. It's a black guy who's an executioner putting people on the electric chairs or whatever in the United States, and he says how many people he's put on the chair till he gets trapped himself in a situation and become a prisoner himself. And he talks about it very frankly, how it changes life, that mistake that he ended up in his prison because it had nothing to do with him. And when he speaks about behaving like God, thinking that he is because he can take life, is something very, very strange feeling. In a way, he says, serving justice. What changed his life? He found out one of the people he put to chair was innocent, and he could not handle it. There's a lot of work into the emotion and psychology of the soul of the man, but most of it is done by religious organizations like Vatican. It's done by theologists, because with these studies, they want to know how they can abuse more man with their soul, with their conscience, we call it. How even positioning a chair in a church will bring so much what and how they get. And there's a lot of research into these kind of things by religious organizations, because it's the way they look to trap the physicality. And it's a field of study, capturing the soul of the man, or imprisoning the soul, the freedom of the man's life through his emotion. Any other question?
Thank you.
Yes, Thomas, if you could go ahead, allow you to speak there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can sort of barely hear you. If you get a little closer to the mic, it might be better.
Yes. I am Thomas from Switzerland. Mr. Keshe, I saw these terrible pictures from this killed person yesterday. And it was such a pain. How is it possible that people can do what this policeman did? And that is my question. What can I do? It pains me so much, and then it takes over my whole body, and I start shaking. and I just don't know what to do. Is there anything I can do to help these people? I'm sorry.
In so many ways, I think I went through the same emotion as you did. You're from Switzerland.
Yes, yes.
I've been through this, and especially by a Swiss officer, but in a different way. A Swiss officer, I didn't know he was an officer, came to see me in Italy by Lake God. And I didn't know who he was. He said he came to see me for a specific reason, so that I could know I can help him with his health. And it was a very critical situation. I said, tell me, how do you know about me? He said, you saved my life and I saved yours. I said, explain. He said, I'm one of the top Swiss security, national intelligence. I said, yes. He said, your file is on my table. Has been on my table. We've been watching you. And I've been to every doctor, and I know there is no cure. And we all know that you have the knowledge to help us, or to help me. He came with his wife. I said to him, why are you doing this? He said, you saved my life, I save yours. I said, I don't need saving. He said to me, do not put foot in Switzerland, and especially in these 6 positions. I said, why? He said, the Americans have brought people to kill you if you come to Switzerland to interfere with the 5+1 conference negotiation. And he said, I'm the head of intelligence in this group, and I tell you this, and that's how it's going to stay. I save your life, you save mine. And I sat for a while thinking about it, and I thought, how can they plan to kill somebody who plans to create peace? And how many head of intelligence groups carry so much dossier on me that they can do what they like, and they know who's going to do what, and they do not do anything about it. And it's very strange how we understand about value of a life by the different people on the different people's lives. There's not much we can do. Because if you think of it, if I would have gone to Geneva or to somewhere else by accident, and this man knew I'll be killed, Why did I have to exchange my life for his life? Why do we need to go through this process to learn? Why do we need to ever watch these things? Nothing we can do unless and except to educate the way we are doing. This is what we see in this video is every day happening. And I've been through it for 11 days, being told exactly like that black man in the airport in Canada, being told I'll be executed. I know what that man went through. And I watched my sister crying behind bulletproof screen, telling her, if you let anybody know, you could kill him. And that was my sister crying. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. I still see the mascaras running down her cheek, trying to save my life in the hand of the thugs of Canadian government. And there's nothing we can do. And if I want to commit murder, I can take their lives all in one go. Then I'll be like them. I took the path of teaching to walk man out of this, but sometimes it's very hard. If you sit in my chair as the head of Keshe Foundation's operation, you see videos and security information that you don't want to be alive. But we have to watch and find a solution. I get all sorts of reports like this on my desk on a daily basis. But what this brought me is, what are we going to do with this nation? And this behavior is becoming ingrained in our children, with their games coming from this behavior from this nation. To them is power. To me is suffering of the children of both sides. He has to pay for it, and he'll pay the same if he knew it. This video, I want to understand what is going to be done by Trump on this chapter. Is it still going to make a nuke? And is it still going to do something else? And in so many ways, why do we see this only out of this nation? It doesn't matter. We send the Chinese, Africans, Europeans, they get to that land. Next generation, the same generation, they become thugs like this. What is wrong with this land? Not much we can do except to teach and elevate enough souls that mankind moves from this position. I can show you videos of executions live on the street. You think this is bad? I'll show you worse. Sorry to create such emotion, but as you've seen it, there is not much can be done. I just want to see how his children will sleep and how he end up and what's the reason that both sides have to suffer.
Mr. Keshe, Stephen mentions in the live stream that these officers were fired and they may face charges, and there were riots all across the US and Americans are all upset about this.
How many times we've seen this upsetness and they walk away with nothing. We've seen this from the time before Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King 60, 70 years ago went on the street because of these behaviors. We saw it in South Africa with Mandela, with the black and white. We've seen it all over the world. The question is why mankind has this behavior. And it's not now, it's the time of the Americans. In the past, all of us, we've done it to each other. From every banner and every way and whatever you wanted to call it has been done. The Arabs, the Egyptians, the Africans and Australians and the rest of it. The question is not just one officer, but what is in the blood of man which brings us to this point. This is what we have to find a solution, and this is where we have to change. This is the problem. This is why we're introducing so much new technologies to change the behavior of the man, step by step, step by step. You cannot make it vaccination. Are we going to vaccine the whale? Are we going to vaccine the lions? Are we going to make vaccines for every animal on this planet? I said from the beginning, just push it in faster. You see, if we hit it with a meteorite and split it, all this would have spread in the solar system. The best thing is to push it in, melt it, and start with a new dough. Many times I considered, and it's so easy to do. It takes me one reactor, smaller than a 3 centimeter, to detract this system, this planet, out of its position and set it on its way. One, only one. I have the knowledge. If you understand the process of an electron and a proton, understand the ratio of a 3 centimeter diameter core and the planet, you understand so easy you can just pull this in. The technology is part of the space travel technology, but you can lock it instead to a UFO, you can lock it into a planet. It's all the same. Send it for a spin and melt it to the core. I said to myself many times, why are we fighting here to change this place?
Fine, thank you. John from Argentina. I would like to know, how could we neutralize vaccines? The governments are bringing out laws which you have to inoculate your children, yourself, to do any official paper, be it...
Hopefully within a very short time, Keshe Foundation, in conjunction with Iranian officials and governments and universities, will put out a technology that eradicates any use of any vaccine. In the process which is going through, technology developed by the Keshe Foundation will allow, because if we go to space, we get a virus, how are we going to know which vaccine? a fundamentally new understanding and technology had to be developed for detection, eradication, cure, and disinfection. The technology is complete, and it's just going through is what you call, hopefully, publication. There is no need for no citizen to be vaccinated, because what is the next in the space and how many vaccines tanks can be carried with us for anything we don't know, we've got to find a new vaccine. There had to be found a direct and a complete process that can withstand any bacteria or virus. And this has been established. The paper has been written and is going through process of publication. There is no need whatsoever for man to be vaccinated in a space if man knows the process of the operation of the viruses. We do not go into saying that you don't need vaccination, that they bring the website down, but advanced technology, completely done and proven in Iran, will be offered by the Iranian officials internationally through a release of publication. In Iran, we will not vaccinate a single person ever again, because we have the knowledge and will expand the knowledge to be able to stand any vaccine. Now we understand the totality of it in the space. If you don't want to get vaccinated, come and live with us in Iran. We have a beautiful Chalakaba. You don't need ever to be touched. The vaccination, what we show, is not needed even for everything else. It will be developed in more depth in the coming time, because we cannot vaccinate everyone in a space. So we had to find a fundamental process. And what we call, the paper is going through its process, hopefully, to be published. And with it, we end up with vaccination, at least in Iran. And any of you who does not want to get vaccinated, fly to Iran airport. Is going to be very cheap soon. We are in the process of doing a lot of good work in Iran. And my advice has been to the Iranian officials, Iran should be a first nation that does not put its children through the mayhem of a bunch of thieves who create anything and they call it a vaccine. So you do not need any vaccine if you are in the space. You know, when you travel to Africa, they said you need the vaccination for this virus and that virus. How many thousands of pages vaccination book you need when you go to space? It'll be more the weight of than you carried behind you to say you've been inoculated for all of it. Vaccination belongs to the Americans and the backward mentality of the European scientists. Iranian nuclear physicists have broken the code. Vaccination belongs to the mentality of the village. Very simple. Bring your grandchildren to Iran. They don't need vaccination just. the process of vaccination does not work in a space. So the structure is there, and very soon will be implemented across Iran.
I think the big question is, how can we neutralize the damage that has already been done?
According to the Senate report, the vaccination companies knew they're doing the damage, and the damage is paid. And according to the Italian High Court, the damage is given to the vaccination companies is huge. It's mainly content of mercury, which settles in specific points in the brain. Through the enhancement unit, we can extract this. We can set the units for a specific job to extract. And we can actually give you the mercury back in the bag to take it home. As we said, we'll make Iran the center of the new technology and peace. Walk with me another 3 months. You will understand. We had a delay in publishing and work because of what we call, again, the workers for the man in the pink trousers you saw. We had to get rid of her in the Iranian Keshe Foundation. And everything from literally her fake departure to the rest of it has opened all the doors. You say we promised you 2 weeks, 4 weeks. Yes, because we had the famous implant of Belgian spies who went into Iran working for the masters. And strange enough is when we kicked her out and that died, they tried to bring another one in. And we are fully aware that tools running around Keshe Foundation still. But they're working, and the paper hopefully will be published now that we got rid of this agent of Belgium in the name of the Iranian nation carrying a Spanish passport. And she's disappeared. She's gone, but she's still causing problem in the background, but that's how they deal with her research. But when the paper comes out, you will understand. There is no need for vaccination according to the new space technology. And through understanding of the enhancement units, we can extract mercury from the brain. It's not a problem, even in its minutest level. As we said, we have to be very prudent, and now it took us some time to get rid of this destructive person inside the Keshe Foundation, wearing the clothes of a sheep but being a wolf underneath. Now we are moving very, very nicely. Any other question?
Liliana had asked in the Q&A a couple of questions. One of them is, can the 1 cup 1 life plasma water be used to treat other diseases or pains other than the corona disease?
There is a lot of application for these cups, but we concentrate on what we have and what is going to be published, and the rest of it will come up as we see. Different people are testing it for different things, and it's getting used for a variety of things with amazing results.
She also says the cup of the man is the representation of that internal device that we have, and that if we know how to use it, we connect with the divinity and also the Akashic records.
What?
I think she's making the comparison here between the cup of the man is a representation of that internal device that we have, and that if we know how to use it, we connect with, I guess, both the divinity and also the Akashic records or Akashic registers, she says. Do you know what you've heard that a term, Akashic records?
Akashi, yes. That's what Wang Lin was talking about.
Oh, Akashic, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I know nothing about Akashi.
Okay.
I know the theory and the principle behind it, but I cannot tell you any more than that.
Okay, she had one other question, which is when we connect with another person at a distance in the field of therapies and feel what they feel, why does that happen?
Because you have the same strength field in that level as that person. That's all. You have to have a matching field of strength. And if you are as good as some people who know how to reach the full spectrum, you can do anything you like in any kind of emotion. I heard in one of the teachings yesterday somebody saying, oh, we heard what Mr. Keshe said in the Tuesday teaching about standing in front of other people and doing this and that. And if you had my knowledge, you can get a king dancing on his head. But we have kept respect for them. We put them pink trousers on them. If you understand, if you comprehend how the universe works, then you'll understand you don't need to do much. The problem with us is how we understand the connection. It's just knowing what to touch and how to get in touch in the dimension of the field of the soul. If you can do that, then you can reach anyone. This is one of the biggest problems we know from the securities. They say, how does Keshe know more or less the chit chat of the president with his wife under the blanket? They looked for many places to find out how I reach them and how I know so much. And I preempt sometimes. You people don't understand what we preempt, because I sit in your soul. And what you say to your wife, I know before it goes out of your mouth. That's simple. Doesn't matter if you've got a blonde hair or a black one or you're bald. We sit inside you, and the sooner you realize, we can do what we like. But as I said, we don't interfere. You've got to commit the crime, not us. We are monitored, we watch, we are not part of it. You're not taking the punishment of your soul. It's yours, and you have to make a decision. And in so many ways, the punishment suits the crime. And that's for you to be done with your soul. Anything else?
We did have Jalal with his hand up, but he's taken it back down. I'm not sure. I'll allow you to speak there, Jalal. I know you've had it up and down a few times, probably as you're busy and so on.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rick, thank you. I did have a question in the beginning. I think Mr. Keshe did answer it, but I will phrase it again to make only the comparison. Mr. Keshe, you are using the magnets to control the plasma and the gases in the matter state of the plasma. And
Are you from last century or the century before?
No, I'm saying comparing to that in the physicality of the human being.
What do you mean?
The magnets in the matter state controlling the gases and the plasma of the gases. And we are, as a human being and body and all these plasmas, which is the controller of that. Like the magnets, I mean.
Where do you see the magnets controlling the GANs? Do you mean matter level magnets, Jalal? Is that what you mean?
In the work of Mr. Keshe, he is using the magnets as a metastate to control the plasma.
Yes, I still do, but that is for a different purpose.
Yes, to achieve that in the body state, in our body state. What is equal to that? And I think you answered it today by using the soul and the emotion. Or am I wrong?
I carry, sometimes I used to carry as much as 100,000 euro of magnets with me. But I use magnets for totally different purpose. Magnets, if you know how to use it, you can do a lot, but magnets keep you in the matter state. You have to understand that you cannot do what you do with the gases in a space with magnets. Magnets are matter state condition strength. So how do you want to play?
Another level of that we have still here on Earth.
Yeah.
So we can use the water to create this magnet effect. In learning process,
Yes. But what do you want to do? What is your objective? Why you suddenly moved into magnets?
sorry, I didn't hear that, Mr. Keshe. Why?
I say, why have you suddenly moved into playing with magnets?
This is for 3 weeks now.
So you go backwards.
Yes.
Why?
To understand.
Let us know what you understand. You see, Americans and some scientists have used the magnets to create some sort of lights. They have created magnets to create some sort of different conditions. But nowhere in the universe you have magnet the way we see it. There are some places, but as we see it on Earth with the iron, it's just if you take the angle of the planet and in so many ways through a special way you create a condition of field forces, you can magnetize iron, and that's why it's magnetic here. In other part of the universe does not have this property. So what's the use of arriving in planet Zeus and your magnet doesn't work and you fall because it's not magnetic anymore, your magnetic flight fails. You understand?
Yes, Mr. Keshe, understand.
So how do you want to play it?
Why you brought up the reactors today?
Because it had a purpose. I should have brought it up a couple of weeks ago, but a lot of people need to move on. We are speeding up in a way.
So I think we are on the same track.
No, we are far away from the same track. I know what you're up to, but it's far away from the same track. I'm going to tell you something. Take some of your blood and put a magnet on it. See if any of the iron from the blood sticks to it. Plasmatic universal magnetic field do not fit into matter state magnetic field anywhere in the universe except in one condition. And in the teachings before, I've explained that. And if you go in a combination of understanding it, you're going to end up in deuterium. Even that in some part of the universe.
Why do you think I'm going to use the magnets, Mr. Keshe?
I don't know, you're telling me you're using
No,
magnets.
I am not saying that. I am saying, what is the equal to the body of the man? Equal to the magnets what you are using with the plasma and the gases. And in a way, what I understand from the teaching today, I understand it.
So that's good.
And one thing more, Mr. Keshe, before you,
yeah.
we are not giving up in the humanity.
Oh, listen, if I was going to give up on humanity, I would have been back on planet Zeus.
Yeah, you want to melt them, my God.
I have everything, and I've got what I want to take with me too, so come, I have no reason to stay behind. I saw today humanity, I've got my soul at peace, I can go. I got what I came here for. So, mankind doesn't kill anymore, mankind doesn't see what we see in these pictures, we are ready to go.
So we are in the transition.
We are what?
In the transition.
The universe has been in transition, it'll be forever as long as there is life in the universe.
Are we there yet?
No, we never get there, unfortunately.
This is your world, eh?
I know my world, I created it. You got to understand that the knowledge of the universe is far even beyond plasma. But this is as much as man can understand today. It's very much like last century. If we would have told you about nuclear in 2020, they would have said, "Bleh." In 2040, you managed to understand about the atom. And now you're nuclear, and now we've gone to the plasma, and the blondie wants to go back to nuclear like you want to go to magnet. So, it's amazing what we can do. And I received a beautiful picture today. I sent it to some of our friends. I think it's something is good for you if I can find it. God.
Well, there's Stefan, and but maybe first you can answer the question from Jeanette in the Q&A, which is simple, short one.
Can we answer the short one?
I thought I'd restart with the short one. Parallel universes, do they exist?
No.
Okay.
Even the twin stars which work on the same basis don't have the same lifestyle. They don't create the same conditions for creation.
What about parallel universes or parallel worlds existing at the same moment?
No, we cannot. Impossibility. Absolutely impossible.
What about the world of the soul and the world of the physicality in a way?
That exists are two different. Of course they do.
So they
live.
One
lives off the other one, but they don't live parallel. If it was parallel, man would have never committed all these atrocities. Man, physicality would have lived the same as his soul. Impossible. The reason man creates so much mess is because his environment continuously changes and he has to fit into it. It's one big mess of hodgepodge mixed up. And so he has got to adjust to it, and he makes every trick to be there to adjust. If it was a parallel, we could have made the soul of the physicality to a parallel life and soul. They would have become one, and that would have been done. I would have gone. But with the soul of physicality, you have the diversity of the fields of the environment. And with that, the same thing happens. And then the soul has to adjust to it all the time. I feel really sorry for the soul of the man. Okay, let's see what Stephanie has got to tell us.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Keshe. Thank you. It's not me, it's the Italian community. They make two questions.
Yep.
Okay, number one is, it was a long time ago, this question. So
don't ask it.
Okay.
What's the second one?
The second one was, I'll read in Italian and in English. Puoi chiedere se noi abbiamo tecniche di guarigione delle emozioni tipo F logosintetiche che possono facilitare il passaggio di controllo dell'elevazione. She's asking, Antonella, she's asking if we have a technique of healing of our emotion, like EFT or logos.
I'm lost. Repeat on me. Third time maybe it goes in my head.
Okay, let me read it again as I said it. If we consider that the vertical people, known as plants, carry magnesium in the structure of their blood, why do we see the killing behavior only in the mammals who carry iron in their structure?
Plants kill as well. Plants are not so innocent. Some plants do, but plants create a condition that they pick up energy of the amino acid at the raw state. Without it, they cannot live. And the animals which kill, we have animals with no red blood. We have even the blue blood, and it still kills. It's the habit of this planet.
Okay, yeah. So once in another conversation with a knowledge seeker, we spoke about it was actually earlier this morning, I believe, we spoke about the field strength of the earth being at the level of, the iron, but not in the way that we consider that there's an iron core. So has this got to do with the field condition of that within the planet's core?
It's a combination of two. What is in a combination of the fields of the planet core is what the planet absorbs to itself. We first absorb a field, and then through inertia we convert it. So for us to see a matter as a matter, we have to have both its strength in the center core and as an inertia on its surface, or somewhere in its, what do you call it, in its layers. And so it's simple in how to do it. It's very simple. This is the way it works. Okay. Any other question?
Oh, I have many, but I'm going to leave it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I asked too many questions. He told me leave, go there and sort out there. Next time when he come back with answers, some of it. And I'm still stuck here. Haven't managed to go back yet.
Very good. Well, I hope we can all assist you with that as we all go through the same process.
Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for today. Thank you very much for at least some of us trying to take that bridge to go one level higher, that we can cross that threshold of being able to maybe jump over the fence of the gravity of the earth, or if you become a little bit better, we can jump over through the soul without the machine. And then those of us who are actually get good at it have a chance to meet the Creator in presence of. Life is cheap on this planet, and we've seen it how cheap. But on the other hand, what we taught today is for those who understand and they can grasp it, that maybe through the elevation of their soul, mankind will find a salvation for his soul. But in essence, we will come to a point of what we call maturing, to be able to cross this landscape of Earth and the rest of the universe. Thank you very much for today. Thank you very much, Rick, Stanley, and the whole Keshe Foundation team in the background.
Very good, Mr. Keshe. Thank you once again.
Mamy koniec tłumaczenia na dzisiaj. Jeśli ktoś ma ochotę, chęć zabrać głos, coś dodać ze swojego zrozumienia lub z tego, co w danym momencie tworzy, robi, może tworzy jakiś system wzmacniający, tak więc zapraszam. Nie ma pytań żadnych? Jeśli nie ma pytań, to na dzisiaj skończymy. To były 369 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim z niedzieli 7 czerwca 2020 roku. Tak więc zapraszam na kolejne warsztaty w czwartek i zaczniemy od 331 warsztatu. Tak więc dobrej nocy, do usłyszenia. Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz. nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz. Że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej. By być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata Staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.